Hello, everyone. Once again, this is Dare to Speak. I've got a little bit more information that I need to share with the viewers out there. And I try to be as respectable as possible when it comes to criticizing religion, whether it's Christianity, Judaism, or Islam, because they all worship the same God. Even though many Christian fundamentalists are saying that Muslims don't worship the same God, they worship some devil or Satan himself or whatever. That stupid self-righteous crap that they always do. And Jewish people, of course, even though they're not really that much of a pain in the ass, they are corrupted themselves. They do have strict rules that are very stupid and things like that. And I have criticized Islam. I mean, for those of you, especially this one person that I just finished making comments to, and he was like criticizing me, which is fine. You know, I'm open to any kind of comments, whether it's something polite or impolite. It doesn't matter. Just as long as you speak your mind, I'll respond right back with the same kind of respect. The thing I wanted to let everyone know is I did make some bad criticisms on Islam, the Muslim religion, as far as, you know, pretty much talking shit about the Prophet Muhammad, that he was a pedophile, he was a very violent prophet, he wasn't as righteous as people thought he was. So there's a lot of things like that. And as far as things I was criticizing about other religions, anything that has to do with worshiping a god or anything that's above you, that judges you and where you should go, whether it's heaven or hell. I mean, that kind of thing I really need to address and let everyone know that there is no heaven, there is no hell. If you really want to find out exactly, I mean, of course, this is just my opinion, but if you really want to find out exactly what happens when you die, the best explanation that pans out would be if you look at my video, what happens when you die, and look under, you know, I Dare to Speak. If you look under the, you see my video on that, you know, pretty much explain everything on there. And as far as this one person right now who is pretty much saying I'm a heretic, I'm saying a bunch of blasphemies. I mean, I thought maybe I was gonna get a lot of bad like seething hatred or whatever from the Holy Bible is evil and dangerous. I mean, that video was really extreme. I mean, really extreme, because of what I did to the Bible in front of the camera as a form of protest. So what I wanted to make clear on this kind of thing is, when it comes to Jesus Christ, like I said before, he's a composite character. A larger majority of his life was actually made up. There was only a small portion of his life that was documented, and it was in the Gospel of Philip, the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, the Gospel of Judas. There's all these other books that were purposely taken out of the Bible, and because there used to be 88 books in the Bible originally before it was purposely taken out during the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD. And Emperor Constantine only cared about, you know, he was a businessman, and also he didn't want his empire torn apart. Christianity was on the rise, but not the real Christianity that it should be. And I got this book, The Da Vinci Code, which is a very good book. I read it a long time ago, and of course, me being me, I'm more of a person who likes to watch movies. So, but I did read this, and I did read some parts from a book by Thomas Paine called The Age of Reason. And what he said in that book, which does make sense, I think I don't know, it's one of these chapters of this book, and also in Thomas Paine's book, that Jesus was voted as being a divine being. It was nothing having to do with real, actual historical facts. And like I said before in my previous video, that the historians around that time of his supposed life never documented. He was never documented because of the fact. I mean, they documented Pontius Pilate, King Herod, and people from that time period, but they never documented Jesus Christ because of the fact that he really didn't exist, not in the way that people thought. And in the Da Vinci Code, what was really interesting to me was the fact that not the painting itself. I'm not talking about the painting, about what it symbolized and stuff like that. It wasn't so much about that. It was mostly about when he was reading, when the old man was reading that part about the gospel according to Philip, the gospel of Philip, and then reading all his parts. And this is the one that was taken out of the Bible. Now, how can someone put faith into the King James Bible, knowing that it's been tampered with, knowing that it stole ideas from the Egyptian religion, especially, rewritten, improvised? How in the fuck can you put your faith in that? I mean, seriously, how can you do that? You have to investigate. You got to think about these things. You really got to think about it. You have to question certain things. And this guy that criticized me just a little while ago, which again, you're free to say whatever you want, but he doesn't want to bother to investigate. What does that tell you? You're a slave to the whole idea of an insane construct. You're a big time slave. Read the book by Thomas Paine, The Age of Reason. Please just read it and give your own opinion on it. If you believe it's bullshit, okay. At least you read it. And if you think it's bullshit, then it's bullshit. But don't read it with the intention of saying, okay, I'll read it, but I'm still going to stick to my guns. No, just be neutral. Just be neutral at it when you read the book. There was so much corruption, and there was a guy in the Council of Nicaea that protested, named Ariel, and he had followers. He said that Jesus was a semi-divine being, that his life was actually, his real name was Yeshua ben Marim, if I'm saying that right. And it got to the point where there was a serious argument, and he was saying that you people are exaggerating on this man's life in order to control people. You don't. That's wrong. You don't do that. So a lot of the people, they had him thrown out, him and his followers. You know, one of those typical things like, get out of here, get this man out of here, and then they just threw him out. They threw out Ariel and his followers. And come on, that was documented in history. Thomas Paine, I'm pretty sure, talked more and more about the corruption. There was actually an announcement, and they all took a vote on a person that they actually mostly made up. He was a composite character. And a lot of the things that Jesus was saying was actually from, like, I am the light, the way, and this and that. He was actually reciting something that was taken from the ancient Egyptian proverbs. It's a famous saying is saying, "I am the light, I am the way," meaning myself. I am God. I am the power. That each and every person is a God. Because we're all part of the same overall one. Now, it may sound like New Age mumbo jumbo, which I can understand that, but it is pantheistic to think that it is New Age. Just like Shaolin monks, they're into pantheism, saying I am the power, I am the light, kind of thing. But it makes sense. So, any comments you want to make, any questions, just let me know. And again, very good book. And to all of you, take care.